So this just happened on The View.
As a gun owner, there are people in this country that genuinely own guns and just do so for the same reason that we all sit up.
An AR-15?
No, let me tell you. Okay, let me give you a story. There's a man in Connecticut that watched his neighbor have a home invasion and watched their whole family get killed. He built his own AR-15 because Connecticut won't let you buy them, but you can abide by rules that allow you to build them. And then he has one in his house to protect his family because he never wants to see that happen again. He is a black man. It's odd. Most AR-15 owners are former military, 35 plus and married. So that's all I'm saying is that they're not these crazy people.
Okay. Here's the thing. Once black people get guns in this country, the gun laws will change. Trust me.
That's what happened with the Black Panthers. Black people have been
That's what happened with the Black Panthers. We'll see some action.
She's right, but black people have been buying guns.
This isn't the first time I heard someone in the media make this statement. As a matter of fact, most of the people I've heard make this statement of some form or fashion was black. And here's why. In 1967, about 30 Black Panthers walked into a California state building carrying rifles and shotguns to protest the Mulford Act. Many people think the Mulford Act was passed to take guns away exclusively from the Black Panthers. However, in 2020, I did a video on the Mulford Act where I provided full context behind why it was crafted from the mouth of Mulford himself.
Mr. Mulford, your bill, you held your bill back to strengthen it. What do you have in mind?
Well, first, it's my intention to make it a felony to bring a loaded weapon into the state capitol. I think that the incident points out that, shockingly, that the laws are inadequate, but also serves to emphasize the fact that the laws are inadequate to protect the innocent public when bands of armed people, and let me make it perfectly clear, this has nothing to do with any racial incident, because in my testimony yesterday there were 5 white groups I discussed and 1 Negro group. But when bands of armed people with loaded weapons can move about our streets intimidating and frightening citizens, then I think we should act, and we intend to act.
I don't agree with the Mulford Act on 2A principles alone. Whether you believe the Mulford Act was racially motivated or not is honestly your decision to make based on the information you have and what I just showed you. Also keep in mind that the bill was supported by both Republicans and Democrats. On its face, Joy Behar's statement was ambiguously racist, but what's ironic is that she doesn't even realize that her statement, if true, is the exact reason why black people should not only be exercising their Second Amendment right, but telling every politician that wants their vote to stop pushing for further restrictions on their 2A rights or they don't get their vote. Think about what Joy is saying. She believes that if more black people started arming themselves, the racists in this country will be more open to gun control because they don't want black people to have the freedom, power, and self-reliance that comes with exercising 2A rights. So the question everyone should be asking is, if Joy Behar knows this, why isn't she advocating for black people to exercise their Second Amendment rights? She clearly said that to Lindsay for a reason. Ask yourself, what is that reason? She's trying to insinuate that conservatives don't want blacks to have guns, but the only people pushing for gun control is the left. So is Joy saying that if black people start buying guns, she's gonna drop her stance on gun control? Clearly not. And this is the problem I have with people like her. They use racism like a dog shock collar. Anytime a black person doesn't lean left on an issue, they break out the racism. It's insulting as fuck. It says that black people can only make decisions through the lens of racism. They treat us like children. If you don't stop being an independent thinker, the racist boogeyman is gonna get you. Lindsay literally told her a story about a black man who made his own AR-15 to protect his family. And Joy's response is, if more black people start owning guns, you're gonna see gun control in the country. Then why aren't you standing 10 toes down with my black ass, making sure my 2A rights are protected? She only pulls the race card when it benefits her belief. But if a black person has a different belief than her, she uses the race card to bash us over the head to get us back in line. And then all of the goofy people in the audience start clapping. As far as I'm concerned, Joy is an ignorant bigot. So is Sonny, and so is Whoopi. I don't even think Joy even knows what the Mulford Act is. She's just regurgitating shit that she heard her left-leaning black friends say without even thinking about the context or understanding it. Long story short, if you don't think like them, they don't just disagree with you, they flat out don't like you. And in many cases, they hate you. Look at the look on Sonny's face while Lindsay is speaking. It's pure disgust. How can you have a rational conversation about guns in this country with people who hate you for simply having a different view on an issue? I've done multiple videos about The View when they discuss guns, and honestly, it's usually just a bunch of bird brain babble. I've exposed how uneducated and ignorant they are on the topic. But here's the irony behind her statement. When I was brought on to the NRA, people like Joy would dismiss me and say, they only brought you on to sell more guns to the black people. Now they're saying if more black people own guns, they would be more for gun control. Which one is it? They either don't want blacks to have guns or they do want blacks to have guns. If you ask me, after watching this clip, I can only conclude that Joy is actually projecting her inner fear of armed black people. It's not like she said what she said because she cares about black people's two-way rights. Joy cares about black people the same way a slave master cares about their slaves. As long as they're docile, weak, and compliant, she loves them. However, if they're in their two-way rights and not thinking simply along party lines, she despises them. And it's disgusting. You know, we talk a lot about empowerment in this country, except for when it comes to the Second Amendment. However, I can't think of anything more empowering than having the most effective tool to protect you and your family. So help me spread this message by liking and sharing this video with everyone you know. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment, because the Second Amendment, when it said militia, it wasn't talking about the government. It was talking about you. Also, if you want to know where to find the I'm the Militia shirt and merchandise, click the I'm the Militia link in the description section of this video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, make sure you hit that bell symbol.